Welcome back to the final part of the London Football Show live. So during this part, we're going to take a look ahead to the coming weekend's games. Now, with the FA Cup fifth round taking place, there's no Premier League action, so we'll take a look at how our London clubs are going to do in the FA Cup. We'll start with West Ham. Tough trip to West Brom.
It's an absolutely tough trip. I think what's happened is that because West Ham are in a very comfortable position, they're now like they're seventh.
I think they're eighth.
They're eighth for the. I think they're stand to be correct. They're seventh. They're eighth for the table, and they're very comfortable in the league. And actually, they're actually pushing for European football. So, Allardyce will play his best team. Obviously, Adrian has awarded himself a nice little rest because of his sending off. So, I think it'll be Jekyll in goal, who'll be in goal for that game. So, there won't be too many changes, but. One of the things we forgot to mention is that Andy Carroll's got a knee injury.
It's a big loss. It is going to be a big loss for them.
Because I think when Andy Carroll's injury-free, you'll see the best of Andy Carroll. It's like everyone associates Andy Carroll with being good in the air, holding the ball up, but he's got a bit of pace. He's got good feet as well. Scored what you consider the goal of the season so far.
Definitely. So it is going to be a big loss for them. And West Brom is not always an easy place to go.
Again, you've got to ask yourself, which team will Pleuris play at? I assume that Pleuris will play won't play a Foster in goal. He'll play like.
Do you think he might weaken his team a little bit?
I think he will tweak it a bit. I think Hideo. I don't think Berahino will play. I think he'll play just like Anichebe and Hideo up front, and I think he'll just make a few changes in defence.
So how do you see that game going, Ken?
I can see. I can actually see. It depends. If Puris plays his full side, we're talking a replay at Upton Park.
Score draw 0-0.
I say if. You know what? If Pulis plays his best side, I think West Ham will lose that. Because I think the Cup, West Brom, atmosphere at Hawthorns, I say 2-1.
2-1 West Brom. Elsewhere in the Cup, Crystal Palace host Liverpool. It's the Saturday evening game. They have a knack of beating Liverpool at Selhurst Park. Can they do it again? Book their place in the quarters?
It depends. It depends. I could see like Speroni dropping down and Hennessy going in goal.
So changes, you think Pardew will make changes?
I think Pardew will make the changes.
But with Crystal Palace, they're 13th in the league. There's a slight gap between them and the relegation. They're not really involved in the dogfight just yet. Surely this is a game they would be going for.
You say that.
When all the big boys have gone out of the Cup, Arsenal not included.
Yeah.
The Cup is there for the taking. There is a potential final spot for any one of these teams now.
Yeah, definitely. But you look at the situations at Crystal Palace is that they get an injury to key players. Obviously, injury to say, like Scott Down, they get injury to him. They get an injury to Delaney. Speroni gets injured. That's their season. You know what I mean? So I think he won't play. I think what he'll do is that he will play Hennessy in goal. May tweak it a bit, and I think that he'll play Fraser Campbell won't play, but I think he'll play Dwight Gale, and I think maybe Sahar will play, and he will leave out Balassi because he's just come out from the African tournament. So I think he will tweak that side a bit. And that's where I think that Liverpool will capitalise. And I think Liverpool win.
What's the scoreline?
I think Liverpool win 3-0.
3-0 Liverpool. Elsewhere in the Cup, your boys, Arsenal, they host Middlesbrough on Sunday. Now, Middlesbrough put out Man City at the Etihad. So it's going to be a tough game for Arsenal.
It's going to be a tough game. But again, you look at the situation again. He played his best side, Karanka. He played all his big boys in goal. He played like Bamford's playing very well.
Defensively, Middlesbrough are very hard to break down.
Ledbetter is leading the side very well. So again, you can't discount Middlesbrough. However, Arsene Wenger has rested a few players. Giroud didn't start on Tuesday.
So do you expect the big boys to be out there?
I think the big boys will start absolutely, because I think what's the difference between last year and this year is that Arsenal are the FA Cup holders. It's a trophy. I think Arsene Wenger has fallen in love with the FA Cup again, because if you look at Arsene Wenger's, the glory years of Arsene Wenger, one of Arsenal used to win the FA Cup quite regularly under him.
And as we said, the big boys are out. Chelsea are out. Man City are out. So it could well be Arsenal's trophy again.
Well, you say that, but it's still Man United in the trophy. It's Man United who people seem to criticise. I mean, how do you criticise a team that's only lost one game in 18? But that's a different show. But I still think Arsenal will win comfortably. They'll make heavy weather of it. If Arsene Wenger makes too many changes and disrupts the pattern of play, then it will be a difficult game. But I'm talking about our extra quality and the fact that Middlesbrough are more concerned with getting out of the
So
Championship.
you can't see past a home win.
I could see a 2-0, just like just like the whole game. I don't think we're gonna. I think maybe Pallister will play because it's the FA Cup. But I think Chesney will be in goal, and I think Gibbs will be at left back. But there are only slight changes, and I think Flamini will play. So it's going to be the spine's going to be dead, but he's going to make a few changes. I can't see like he's our first team playing.
Okay, comfortable for Arsenal then. We'll briefly talk about Chelsea now. They have a Champions League game next week. They travel to Paris Saint-Germain for the last 16 first round. Quickly, Kenny, how do you see that one going? Tough game.
It's a very tough game. I think Chelsea would lose by the odd goal. I think Chelsea will lose 2-1 because I think.
So similar to last season, they'll lose away, but probably
I still think they'll
win.
I think they'll actually win a tie, but they'll actually lose the actual first leg.
And score?
I think they'll lose the first leg 2-1. I think they'll get a goal.
They'll get an away
2-1,
goal.
yeah. They'll get an away goal.
Good stuff. So we'll move on now to the Championship. We'll start with Watford, who are 5th in the table. They go to Bolton, who have found some form, and they played really well against Liverpool. And I have to say, they did play well the other night against Fulham as well.
They scored some very good goals.
Like Lennon seems to have come in and done good things there. It's not going to be easy for Watford, who are in good form themselves.
Again, this is where Jokanovic is going to earn his money against a big game against Bolton at the Marcon Stadium. I think Aguilar's playing so well. I think Anya's creating a lot of chances. I think Gomez is going to have a lot to do during that game. But I think he's in such good form that I think Watford will win this 1-0.
1-0. I think they'll definitely take those 3 points. Elsewhere, we've got a London derby in the Championship. Charlton host Brentford. Will Charlton get a result?
Absolutely
will they
no way.
get anything from this game?
Absolutely no way.
Not even another draw?
They will not get a draw. Brentford have got too much quality.
But even with the disruption that's going on at Brentford at the moment, now's probably a good time to try to play them.
Don't bet on it.
But I think it's always a good time to play Charlton, it seems, because they just cannot win games.
Not bet it. I think what's happened is that Matthew, although we gave him a wooden spoon award, I think Matthew Benham has actually clarified the situation. And that is actually, whether he's clarified the situation or done a U-turn, what he's done is that he's actually put his confidence into Mark Webberton. So that should galvanise the players. The players have actually come out and say they're behind the manager anyway. So the fact that they're behind their manager means that they're going to get a performance out of that. They're going to be very upset about losing to Watford. They feel that they were a better side than they were.
So away win?
I think a very comfortable away win. We're talking, I think they'll concede a goal because Brentford like to concede that. Not very good at keeping clean sheets. I'm talking 3-1.
3-1 Brentford. Elsewhere, Fulham, they host Ipswich Town. Now, Fulham have actually dropped to 18th in the table, and it is worrying that a few games ago they were pushing towards the playoffs, and now suddenly they're back, and they're only 5 points above the drop, and I think that's a big game for Fulham against Ipswich, who aren't in bad form themselves.
Not at all, but the thing is that it's all about tactics. It's all about making yourself difficult to beat. Fulham must make sure they don't lose this game. There's no good going there kamikaze without any plan, because I do notice when I do watch Fulham sometimes there doesn't seem to be a plan there. Doesn't mean, especially defensively, there seems to be like disorganisation that we had under Margoff. So there are.
They do leak goals, and I can't
goals.
see Fulham keeping a clean sheet. I think they're going to have to score more than one if they want to win that game.
That's the problem. If Roddy Agar is off form, who's putting a hand up to get the goals?
Hopefully McCormack after his hat-trick a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, you say McCormack, but I think in terms of McCormack, you bought an £11 million striker whose best position seems to be behind the striker. Yeah. So again, it baffles me.
So let's have a prediction, Kenny. How's that game going to go?
At best, it's 1-1, but my head does say 2-1 Ipswich.
We're going to fall out, Kenny. So Millwall, they go to Leeds, fresh from their 1-0 victory midweek against Birmingham. They go to Leeds. Now, it's 22nd versus 17th. Leeds in 17th. Leeds not having a great season. Millwall, you just don't know which Millwall's going to turn up. How do you see it going?
I think Millwall are going to win this. I think Leeds are devoid of any confidence at Ellen Road. They seem to play very well away from home. They had a good win against Reading, on Tuesday. And yet, at Ellen Road, they lose to Brentford, who played very well. I think if Millwall are very organised, if Meinhofer and has his shooting boots on, and Gay comes to the party. I think, and obviously Dunn and Ford have good games. I think Millwall are going to nick this 1-0. I really do.
Be great 3 points for Millwall. If they win that and Charlton lose that, they could swap places.
Well, Millwall, if you look at the situation, Millwall have 30 points, and it's only Brighton that are ahead of them on goal difference. So they're further from bottom, but Brighton are just outside the relegation places. But Brighton have scored more goals.
And Charlton, then they're not that. They're only 20th.
Again,
they're only 3 points above the drop.
They're 3 points above the drop. But I think what's happened is that it's going to be at the end of the season. You're looking at teams like Millwall up until like maybe Fulham. That's the relegation battle because you can forget Blackpool, Wigan. They're down. They're about 10 points off and Wigan have got 8 points, so they're down. It's from third from bottom up to Fulham's, where it's going to be a battle. And I think Fulham should have let themselves get in that situation.
It would be a great result for Millwall if they can go there and win. So in League One, Leyton Orient, they've got 2 games coming up in the week. Now quickly we'll look at those games. They go away to Chesterfield at the weekend and then they play at home to Bradford. How many points out of 6?
No chance and no games. Chesterfield are going very well on the table. I think Chesterfield will win that comfortably. Against Bradford as well. Bradford, they will put in a spirited performance. Players will come to the party. Maybe Dagenham will come to the party. Maybe Pritchard might come to the party as well. However, I think Bradford are playing really well. They're in very good form and they've got quality.
Especially with their cup run as well.
I think the cup run is going to galvanise performances. And
they got a Premier League team that they're playing at the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing, they've got Sunderland obviously Sunderland the weekend, and they're in a playoff position as well. So I don't see
no points for Leyton Orient.
Absolutely no points, not at all. And we're going to be in a situation where Bochetti might have to sack another manager.
It really wouldn't surprise me. Just quickly, Kenny, because we're running out of time. We've got AFC Wimbledon, they travel to Shrewsbury, and Dagenham and Redbridge, they go to Morecambe. Just quickly, quick predictions.
2 draws.
2 draws?
2 score draws.
That's AFC travelling to the team that's top of the league. And then you've got Dagenham, who are travelling to a team in mid-table. I think AFC would definitely take that point.
I think they'll get a point. I think there's enough. I think they've got enough about them to actually nick a point there. And Shrewsbury are going very well, but I still think AFC Wimbledon have been playing well in their last 2 matches. Form should count in that league.
And Daggers as well. Obviously, two decent games for them in the past week. They can get something there.
Like I said, there's goals from Jacobiak and the goals from Curitan. I still think that maybe they can get a point. I think both teams should go on a run.
Great stuff. Well, unfortunately, we couldn't get our Millwall fan on the phone this week, but hopefully next week we'll be able to get him back on. But that's all we've got time for this week. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week where we talk all things London football. Take care and enjoy the football. I think that one went.